And here we are. Yes, indeed. We're doing it again. Roll up, ladies and gentlemen. One man went to mow. Yes, we are doing it again. I am doing it again. Are you doing it with me? One man went to mow. The eagle has landed.
Holy, 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 Adimebujuku, another Savior, Holy, 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 Adimebujuku, another Savior.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, holy.
Okay, so you would have thought it would have been a good idea for me to have plugged in my computer before starting the session, but such is as it is. So again, one man.
Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku, another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku, another Savior.
Well, this is Mobi.
Okay, so it's shaping up to be one of those sessions. Third time lucky, I am hopeful. Let's try one more time. One man.
Another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku, another Savior, holy, 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 Adimebujuku, another Savior.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight. And they were singing out, holy, 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 Olumewodu is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 Olumewodu is another Savior. Holy, 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 Olumewodu is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. Inyamadika yabika kwa namno. Hey, anamekele mazuche mefo. Manemo, it's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along, holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior. Just sing along, holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior. When I sing along, holy, 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 is another Savior. Getting it right and getting it fast now. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, holy, getting it right, faster, never freedom. Is another Savior. Yeah, for freedom. Holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior.
Another Savior. Holy, 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 Osinbajo. Another Savior. Another Savior. Holy, 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 Osinbajo.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight. And they were singing out, holy, 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 Olumewodu is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 Olumewodu is another Savior. Holy, 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 Olumewodu is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. Inyamadika yabika kwa namno. Hey, anamekele mazuche mefo.
So there you heard it. Holy, 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 dulcet tones from the east. Holy, 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 Nandekanu, the other savior. As guys, I bring you this. We are not aware of lawsuit seeking to remove a section of the Electoral Act banning political appointees from casting in elections. So the House of Representatives come to speak to the story of the moment. As you are aware, and if you're not, then be aware, Abubakar Malami had gone to procure a court judgment to enable him remove clause 8412 of the newly passed electoral bill that precludes government appointees from seeking elective positions. So you either resign your ministerial position or you give up on your electoral ambitions, is what that clause says. Abubakar Malami, of course, the Minister of Justice, intending to hold on to his position for as long as he can, and also wanting to be the governor of Kebbi State for reasons of wanting the immunity that would save him from all the atrocities that he has been committed for the last 7 going on 8 years. So, for his self interest, he procures a court judgment, which he's then seeking to use to try to delete a clause from the Nigerian constitution. This to the consternation of the House of Assembly and the Senate and the House of Representatives in this instance. They are not aware that this lawsuit was even instituted. We were not aware of lawsuit seeking to remove a section of the Electoral Act barring political appointees from contesting in elections. It's the House of Representatives alarming to the space. So there it is. But the police are on strike apparently, or they will be soon shortly. EFCC operatives collect big salaries whilst we remain poor, police officers say ahead of nationwide strike. So I don't even think it's legally allowed for the police to strike. But in Nigeria, what is legally allowed? I think these people are just fed up. And this was one of the cardinal points that the NSAS protest was all about. They're saying if you give these people a decent enough of a package, maybe they'll stop harassing innocent civilians on the street. So they join in that strike now. EFCC operatives collect big salaries whilst we remain poor, police officers say ahead of nationwide strike. Well, very quickly, the police hierarchy responds. Police officers have no right to down tools over poor welfare. The Inspector General of Police, Kali Baba. So they have no right to down tools over poor pay and poor welfare. What other reasons do people down tools other than they giving you their labor and you not giving them their just rewards? That is exactly the cardinal reason why people strike or demonstrate, why workers strike or demonstrate globally. So it's very much in tandem with what obtains universally, but apparently not according to the understanding of the Inspector General of Police. Police officers have no right to down tools over poor welfare. A headline attributed to the IG, Usman Al-Khali Baba. Only God, not desperation, can confer power. Gowon tells Osinbajo group. So Desprado apparently seems to be what Gowon seems to be calling Osinbajo, but quite what led to that comment we don't know yet until we read out the piece. But the headline does intrigue. Only God, not desperation, can confer power, Gowon tells Osinbajo group. So there it is right there. What quite that means, we'll find out shortly. Nigeria ranks 114 amongst world's happiest countries. Finland retains first position in 5 years. So Nigeria ranks 114 out of the world amongst the happiest countries in the world. But what was the sample pool for Nigeria to rank 114? No matter what the sample pool is, that is already poor, but the sample pool will tell us exactly just how poor that is. Nigeria ranks 114 amongst world's happiest countries. Finland retains first position in 5 years. So we may now land on this rather curious little story that I came across. You make of this what you will. And there's a video clip to go with this. So hopefully I don't get kicked off the platform as I try to upload it. But this headline, you make of this what you will. So I'm not making any commentaries other than to bring you the headline. And then you can make of it what you will. Women need to start thanking men for their sperm because it is what makes most of them beautiful without makeup. This is a boss counselor. You know, one of those people that go on buses and start to wail and holler. So she went on the bus to wail and holler, and this is what she had to say. Women need to start thanking men for their sperm because it is what makes most of them beautiful without makeup. A headline attributed to a boss counselor. So, quite what that is all about, we'll find out just fairly shortly. So, lean back, kick back, take it easy, relax. But before you lean back, before you kick back or before you take it easy, you know the procedure. You hit the like button and then you hit the subscribe button, and that is your entry ticket into the platform. Then you just take it easy and let us take you through whatever comes next. Usually a wild ride, but as you go about doing the clickings, and the clickety and the clickety doos, let me provide you with a little bit of a musical backdrop. We stay in the East and partake in another Python dance.
Do I fall? O Mary, o Nindizu, o Niroya, Abakare, Mama Daora, Una Bori Mary Nandi, Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Una Bori Mary Nandi, Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Na Python dance 3, una bori meri nande, nande bu onye du aimo, o meri wo nilizu mbiro ya, abakare, mamanda ora, una bori meri nande, nande win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Na Python dance 3. Una boli meri Nandi. Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Na Python dance 3. Una boli meri Nandi. Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Na Python dance 3. Una boli meri Nandi. Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Na Python dance 3. Una boli meri Nandi. Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Na Python dance 3. Una boli meri Nandi.
And there you heard it. Python Dancey, Python Dancey, the another Python Dancey. The dulcet tones of the Okoro people from the East. So from the dulcet tones of the Okoro people from the East, guys, I bring you this. We are not aware of lawsuit seeking to remove a section of the Electoral Act barring political appointees from contesting in elections, a headline attributed to the House of Representatives. The House of Representatives has said that it is not aware of the lawsuit seeking to remove a section of the Electoral Act barring political appointees from contesting in elections. Correspondents had reported that Justice Evelyn Ayadike of the Federal High Court in Umuahia, Abia State, declared Section 8412 of the Electoral Act illegal. She declared the provision as conflicting with Sections 66, 107, 137, and 182 of the 1999 Constitution. Reacting to the court judgment, spokesperson of the House, Ben Kalu, APC Abia, stated that they were not aware of the lawsuit and cannot react to the judgment because it has not yet been certified. He also said the lower chambers of the National Assembly has questions on who represented it in court. Kalu said, the House of Representatives is not aware of this legal matter. The House was not served whether we were a necessary party or not. It is important to note that it is out of place to comment on the judgment that we have not seen. We are only reading it on social media. The Senate had treated the bill, but the House is still waiting for a legal opinion on the issue raised by the president. We would like to know who served us, who represented us, when, and all those technicalities. The House of Representatives spokesperson also said they will be interested in the interpretation of public servants because they believe political appointees are not public servants. Kalu added, Section 318 of the 1999 Constitution defines anyone who is a public servant. Section 318 of the 1999 Constitution define who a public servant is. it does not include political appointees. We must be able to differentiate between the two. So there it is, right there. He procured a judgment, Abubakar Malami, without serving any of the parties that were pertinent to the case, and he's now proceeding off the back of this procured judgment to delete an important clause from the Nigerian constitution. You ask what impunity is, that is it right there. You ask what impunity is, that is it right there. So impunity continues under the Aboki regime. EFCC operatives collect big salaries whilst we remain poor, police officers say ahead of nationwide strike, citing marked disparity in their salaries compared to their counterpart serving with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC. Nigeria police officers have signaled their resolve to commence on a nationwide strike on March the 26th. The protest tagged "We are tired of negligence" is scheduled to be held at the Eagle Square in Abuja to reiterate their demand to the federal government. In a document referenced blah 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 addressed to the Inspector General of Police Usman Akali Baba, the aggrieved officer asserted that strike is the only language the Nigerian government understands. According to the document, all junior ranking officers have been banned from their duty post, including those attached to politicians on and from the said date. Amongst their grouses are poor salary / welfare, non-issuance of kits and accoutrements, non-payment of duty tour allowances, non-payment of course allowances, poor barracks accommodation, non-promotion as at when due, as seen in the strike memo. The protesting officers compared their salary structure with that of their counterpart at the anti-graft agency EFCC, where a level 03 officer earns 280,000 naira monthly, whilst a police constable on the same level earns a measly 47,700 naira monthly, barely above the minimum wage. An EFCC operative on grade 011 will smile home with over 490,000 naira every month, whilst a police officer on the same level earns 109,200 naira, the document highlighted. The aggrieved officers demanded that the government should publish the differences between the salaries of both security agencies, tax waivers, pension exemption, immediate renovation of all barracks, IPPIS mode of payment remain top on the list of their demands to government. Addressing Musiliu Smith, who chairs the Police Service Commission PSC, the officers asked the personnel promoted since 2015 should be advanced to their next rank. The IGP has also been asked to immediately commence the distribution of 2 pairs of uniform to all junior ranking officers of the force. No police, no democracy. 26/03/2022 is the date. Eagle Square is the venue, reads the concluding part of the document addressed to key figures in the Mohammed Buhari regime. So this was exactly what the youths were rioting for these people for, and they proceeded to summarily gun them down at Lekki Toll Gate. But alas, the pinch continues to bite. Police officers have no right to down tools over poor welfare. The Aboki Inspector General of Police calls himself Kali Baba. The Inspector General of Police Usman Kali Baba has warned aggrieved police officers that they lacked the right to protest or embark on a nationwide strike. some officers of the police are threatening to go on strike on the 26th of March. Mr. Baba made the disclosure whilst delivering a lecture at the force headquarters in Abuja on Thursday, addressing reports that junior ranking officers were planning to stage a protest at Eagle Square in Abuja on the 26th of March over unpaid emoluments, poor working conditions, tax waivers, amongst other reasons. Mr. Baba stressed that the force was bound by discipline, hence, officers would not resort to such drastic measures to drive home their demands. Since the police force is a regimental and disciplinary organization, its members cannot embark on strike. Therefore, all rumors concerning the strike should be disregarded, partly reads the outcome of the IGP's lecture. In the same lecture, Mr. Baba urged officers to pray for their new salary. Oh God, 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 oh God. I'm going to read you this because there's a hyperlink to this. So let me just copy this out because I must read this out. It just sounds the most ludicrous of things. In the same lecture, Mr. Baba urged officers to pray for their new salaries to be paid at the end of the month. Meanwhile, acting police spokesman Muyiwa Adejobi had earlier this week released a statement to debunk reports of the proposed industrial action. He warned that grave consequences would bedevil Nigerians should police officers go on strike. The men and women of the Nigerian police force are fully aware that a strike action or other deliberate disruption of law enforcement services by any security organization is mutinous, and the personnel of the force would not degenerate at any point to that level of disloyalty and indiscipline, as police services are paramount and essential in the maintenance of orderliness and peace in the nation. In the nation, Mr. Adejobi said in a statement. So they are paramount. Police officers, policing service are paramount and essential in the maintenance of orderliness and peace in the nation, Mr. Adejobi said in this statement. So now let's now go quickly to where they said that they should pray for their salary because I never knew this. So this is a hyperlink then that was embedded in what I just read now. Pray for your salaries to be paid this month. IGP Usman tells police officers. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, has urged police officers to pray for their salaries to be paid at the end of the month. Whilst delivering a lecture at the force headquarters in Abuja on Thursday, Mr. Baba suggested that prayers by police officers may fast track the implementation of the new salary structure by March ending. He also informed members that the new salary may be paid at the end of this month, March the 22nd. Everyone should exercise patience and pray. Partly reads the document titled Outcome of the Inspector General of Police Lecture, which was seen by correspondents. This is coming amidst a planned protest and strike by junior officers of the force scheduled for March the 26th. Although the acting force public relations officer Muyiwa Adejobi had debunked the report, describing it as fake news, there are strong indications that junior officers would embark on strike on the said date. The officers listed unpaid emoluments, outdated weapons, poor working conditions, amongst other reasons for the planned protest. In a desperately veiled attempt to placate the disgruntled officers and quell strike agitations, IGP offered to waive tax for all serving officers effective from April 2022. The Inspector General of Police, in his magnanimity, has also ensured that all serving personnel be exempted from paying tax with effect from April 2022, reads the outcome of Mr. Baba's lecture. Similarly, the IGP assured officers he was working tirelessly to ensure that both serving and retired members of the force are removed from the contributory pension scheme. Despite these promises, the new salary structure remains a huge probability, with the IGP asking officers to pray for its implementation. So pray for your salaries is now it's anyway. That's it. Oh, that's a country right there. That is a country. Only God, not desperation, can confer power, Gowon tells Osinbajo's group. Former military head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, says God is the ultimate decider of who will lead Nigeria come 2023. He said this on Friday in Abuja when officials of the Progressive Consolidation Group, a group rooting for Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, paid him a visit at his Asokoro, Abuja residence. Mr. Gowon emphasized that whilst he had no partisan involvement with politics, he believed that leaders and citizens at all levels had a duty to sustain peace, progress, and national unity of the country. He also affirmed his conviction that no matter the level of intrigues and circumstances, God would ultimately decide the final outcome. Mr. Gowon said that the country's interest, Mr. Gowon said that in the country's interest, all politicians and their followers must look beyond the struggle for positions and sustain faith in Nigeria. He urged the mass media to do more towards consolidating national unity, sustain hope, believe in Nigeria, and believe in the cause of unity and peace. Mr. Gowon said, leaders of the PCG earlier had a closed door meeting with the former head of state. The leaders include its deputy national chairman North, Musa Kwande, who is also the Barandi of Lafia Emirate, and its coordinator Ahmed Zagi. Mr. Zagi told newsmen that the visit was a matter of courtesy, adding that as an elder statesman, Mr. Gowon embraced everyone. You all know that our message and mobilization for the 2023 presidential candidature of Professor Yemi Osinbajo has reached every part of this country. And our visit to this great patriot is out of much deserved courtesy rather than partisan considerations, he said. He said Mr. Osinbajo had never been desperate for positions, but God and his rich credentials had always made things possible for him. General Gowon took us down memory lane to scenarios of January 13, 1966, and he believes that the scenario of ascension to high positions without desperation or unnecessary intrigue is something that all must consider. He said that he never knew that he would occupy that seat and that whoever God has destined to be president will become president regardless of his circumstances or challenges. Whilst expressing his conviction that only God can confer power, Gowon said he has interacted with Nigerians who have a lot to offer when the time comes for them to inherit great responsibilities. He counseled that what all citizens need to do is to pray for all candidates being brought forward by various political parties so that we can have the right persons who can further consolidate national unity, he said. He added that Mr. Gowon also emphasized his long held belief in one united Nigeria, saying that it was only those that could further enhance national unity, peace, progress, and development for Nigeria that could truly lead successfully in the years ahead. So don't act like a Desprado seems essentially what Gowon had to say to Osinbajo and his body men. So from Osinbajo and his parliament to this, Nigeria ranks 114th amongst world's happiest countries. Finland retains first position in 5 years. Nigeria is the 114th happiest country in the world. The World Happiness Report 2021 has shown the giant of Africa was just ranked 30. Nigeria is the 114th happiest country in the world. The World Happiness Report 2021 has shown. The giant of Africa was just 32 ranks away from Afghanistan, the 146th country, which was at the bottom of the report, whilst Mauritius in East Africa was ranked 49th in the world's happiest nation index. Marking its 10th anniversary, the report used statistical analysis to determine the world's happiest countries. In its 2021 update, the report concluded that Finland is the happiest country in the world. The report analyzed the Gallup polling data from 149 countries for the past 3 years, monitoring performance in the gross domestic product per capita, social support, health, life expectancy, freedom to make life choices, generosity of the general population, and perceptions of internal and external corruption parallels. Meanwhile, Nigeria comes several ranks below. Ivory Coast 83, Ghana 93, Cameroon 80, 89, Senegal 90, Niger 94, Gambia 96, Benin 97, Guinea 100, Burkina Faso 111, which are all of the subcontinent West Africa. However, the country is ranked ahead of Mali, Liberia, Chad, Mauritania, Togo, Sierra Leone. For the fifth year in a row, Finland is the world's happiest country, followed closely by its Nordic neighbor, Denmark, Norway, by its Nordic neighbors, Denmark, Norway, Switzerland, and Iceland. Out of a total score of 10, Finland scored 7.8, Denmark 7.6, Switzerland 7.5, Iceland 7.55. Other countries in the top 20 include the Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, Luxembourg, Austria, Australia, Israel, Germany, Canada, Ireland, Costa Rica, United Kingdom, Czech Republic, the United States, Belgium, and France. The world's top 20 happiest countries. So it goes on to give us the list. So Nigeria essentially the unhappiest place in West Africa, and that is according to data, but then of course according to experience as well. So let's land on this rather somewhat risque. This is somewhat of a risque headline for this platform. This is not where we usually go to here, but let's go there. Women need to start thanking men for their sperm because it is what makes most of them beautiful without makeup. This is a boss counselor saying this. A female bus counselor has been spotted in a viral video dishing out advice to women during a trip. The marriage counselor was heard telling women during the trip that they need to thank men after every intimate session because most women look beautiful without makeup because of sperms they receive from men. The Ghanaian woman further claimed that sperms contain vitamin C, which gives women a natural glow after each intimate session. She also claimed that virgins always look like dummies and act silly because they haven't yet tasted the forbidden fruit yet. The lady who revealed she was a mother of seven healthy kids, who likes it anytime her husband is urged men. So there's just some of the words I just cannot, go there. Who likes it whenever her husband is, emptying the dump, urged men to keep giving it to ladies anytime they want it. So that is the gospel from Ghana. That is, according to her, what makes them rosy cheeked. So that is the chickiness of it. So sorry, what are you making of that? So are you there? Yeah, Yoruba nation, but Yoruba nation, but I don't know what you've written there. So are you there, Solly?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. So what have you written on your name? Yoruba nation, but what?
But first to be one Nigeria.
But forced to be one Nigeria. Look at that. And that is your politics summed up in one short sentence. So good to have you, Solly. So let's go quickly first then to that lawsuit that was instituted by Abubakar Malami in Umahia, and he's procured that judgment to quickly seek to delete from the Nigerian constitution. The House of Reps and the Senate say they are not even aware that there was a lawsuit. So what are you making of that space, Solly?
Well, it depends on the Nigerian space. We'll see how corrupt it is. We will see if it's going to get passed or not. If it's going to get passed, so what was all the point of all these laws that they've signed in if they are still going to change it after? Just wasted everybody's time if they are still going to find ways to change it after. If they approve it, that's the beginning of nonsense again, under this administration.
You mean the continuation of nonsense, because the whole of the administration completely nonsensical. It's just a joke. Um, but I've never heard of it actually. The police going on strike, but then they are going on strike for reasons of poor welfare and poor pay conditions, and they're comparing their working conditions and welfare to EFCC, who are getting almost 10 times as much as they are. So then, why then were they shooting the kids in the October 2020 when the kids were protesting the same thing on their behalf? So the police threatened to go on strike, poor welfare, poor pay. Are you with them on that strike, or are you of the thought that the police should not be striking?
I see it from 2 points. First of all, this Nigerian government, they are playing with their life. They are not paying the salary of people holding gun. You see how crazy they are. You see how courageous they are. Eh? They are playing with their life, but they don't know the person holding all the guns. You are not paying them. You are starving them. They've totally forgotten human nature. It is only a matter of time. They are playing a very
If the
dangerous
police
game.
withdraw their services for one day, people
Nothing will happen.
they will no, but they will rush these politicians, don't you think? Because they are
Nothing
the
will happen.
buffer. You don't think people
Yes,
will attack the
no, no,
politicians?
no. See, nothing will happen to those policemen. Nothing will happen. That's the day that everybody will know they are equal. But these people, they see this is the second problem. They see too much on their level. EFCC, they are playing with the big boys.
Mm,
Obviously, they are going to Banana Island, Lekki, But these policemen, they are as equal as the street boys, but they don't know.
mm.
Because they are on the street level. So they cannot see the big men that they can arrest and actually collect that big EFCC money too. So they are basically protesting for the laziness, you know, on their part. This won't solve their problem. It won't, because they are just lazy minded.
Leaving aside the parallel between their pay and EFCC, do you think they are underpaid?
Oh, they severely are. They are in Dubai. They are policemen driving supercars now. So look at the cars they drive. They are severely
Because it's not
underpaid.
just the pay; it's also the welfare. They are saying their barracks. I mean, we've all spoken about their
See,
barracks. We've all seen clips.
why don't they have a lawyer that will represent them, that will make sure that they do their duties, without the fear of being fired, as
Mm.
long as they are doing their duties. They don't have legal representation, so they
But
are
do you
just
not think
suffering.
that because they are saying that it's strike that the Nigerian government responds to the most? That's the language that they understand, and
Okay,
that is
okay,
what
but
often works. Yeah.
yeah, but often this government has not really cared about strike. You strike till you tire. You know, they've never given in.
Well,
You
no,
know, so
as
it's
I don't know. The ASU always breaks their back. The labor
but
union
ASU
always
didn't
breaks
break
their.
their back now. Didn't you see
Yeah,
them
so ASU has
stand up
broken
and
their
leave?
back. Or are they not giving them everything they want?
I mean, I didn't hear about that.
No, no, I think they are giving them everything they want now.
Okay. Anyway, but you see what you have to go through. And they're still going to go through it again. That's the worst part. You know, so it's better to find solution. If not, you will just be repeating the same thing over and over and over and over again. They should have legal representation. What's wrong in that? They are just dumb, and because they have the guns, that's the matter of the fact. They are the ones that have the most weapons that can be actively used. You know, so it's just really sad that they don't see their power.
But no, as much as I'm not a fan of the Nigerian police force, I'm a fair fan of equity and balance. And you wouldn't keep pigs in what they purport to be their barracks. It's so filthy, it smells. You
Because
know,
it's
nobody
underpaid.
health a healthy
It's
body and a
underpaid. It's
healthy mind.
mismanagement. One man is
So that is
mismanagement.
what they are now railing against now. So I think we should. I don't
But
know.
but
I'm supporting
I
them.
don't think they should. Well, they should rally to the government, but it's not the government that is probably holding that money back. It's probably somebody in that police force.
Of
You
course,
know,
now yes.
so they
So
are
at
just
least if they
protesting to
highlight
the.
it, if they are demonstrating, then the government will tap
But if
Usman
nobody
Baba that
solves it,
all the
then
money you collected, where is it? Why are these people rioting? You know.
yeah. So they are
Well,
just
and what is this idea? The inspector general of police asking them to pray for their salary, that they should be praying that they get
it's
paid. Do
Nigerian
you do you
power
pray? Do
now.
you
Once
pray
they just
before
chop
you get
small
paid?
power, once they just chop small
I mean,
power,
that
they
is a
just start to act
statement
like
made.
mini gods.
Pray for your salary. I mean, I've never heard such a thing. Pray for your
No,
salary.
one man, why are you surprised now? This kind
Well,
of
you know,
statement,
why are you not alarmed? Pray for your salary.
it has passed the point of being alarmed because the
Eh?
people that are supposed to be alarmed are not being alarmed, you know. So we just watch and see, you know, about being scared of this narrative, being surprised by this narrative. I've gone past the point. If they say somebody did this, somebody burns that, okay, like what's next? You know, we're not seeing any change. The people and people are being busy complaining that it's the old people in power. This one, of course, you see a playing field that you can play. It's comfortable for your kind of mindset. You know, how you play it. If nobody is challenging you, you play it. You know, but in the West, we know they've always challenged this kind of narrative. You know, all these excuses that we're always having in the West, these people will do it. They would have done it. They will go through it. You say, oh, but you're scared, something, something. Oh, yes. It's the point. You have more numbers than them. You can do more than they can do. If there are 10,000 of you people doing it, they cannot fight the full force of 10,000 people fighting for, you know, going through all legal loopholes and battles and everything they can go through. You can't fight everybody, you know, but everybody wants to sit down and wait for change. So,
But one thing puzzles me in what the inspector general is promising them is promising them a tax waiver. So is he in a position to do that? Because it's not in his authority. He's not the tax collector. But if he waives the tax, then who pays it? Do they not pay tax
okay,
at all? Is that
one
covered
man,
by the police budget? Or they don't? You can't exempt them from tax now. You don't have that authority.
but
What does it
one
mean
man,
that you give them tax waiver?
can I ask a question? If somebody does something like this, who is supposed to hold them to justice? Normally, is it not the police?
Well, yes.
Exactly. So what is the police waiting for? Why don't they just arrest the man? Straight at like you want to perform an illegal act, arrest him. What is
You want
stopping
them
them? This is what
to
I'm talking.
arrest their inspector general. What are you talking about? Eh?
Exactly.
Are you
One
not a
man in the
Nigerian?
West,
Eh?
wouldn't they do that? But one
Yeah,
man in
well,
the
don't
West,
worry
wouldn't they
now.
do that?
Forget the West.
Exactly. This is their problem.
Sully,
So they are the cause of their own problem. If they cannot even follow the law just because they are scared of following the law, is there no problem?
well,
You know,
Sully,
arrest the man.
if I
He's a
may,
human being. He's a human
Uh,
being. Arrest
it's
him.
not
What
a
is he going
human
to do?
being. No,
Beat
it's
everybody?
it's the inspector general. It's not a human being. It's the inspector
No,
general.
But if
sorry,
nobody starts doing it, then
make
it
a,
will never start.
if I may add
One man,
something,
we know
sorry.
how Miami was in the 80s and the 90s now. Or then they were even saying it's impossible. Police was doing cocaine, they were even selling cocaine, all this kind. But if nobody starts, nothing will happen.
All right.
Simple as that.
Let's hear from Mangui. Mangui, you wanted to come in.
Yeah, I was just listening to the narrative and all those things. I think for the past few weeks and days, this is a depiction of a Nigerian situation right now. And sorry, you made mention of the police arresting the IG or something like that. Not quite easy to do, but I think if they can file their case in court, then they have a mandate to arrest the IG or to question the IG on that. And just like one man said, if these policemen can be pulled out of the system, that gives a window to actually showcase our politicians that they are vulnerable to certain things. And that gives out also the opportunity for the youth and the common man to also attack those politicians that have been looting and let them be like the common man. So we all know that IGs and all those top politicians are looting our money. But the forces protecting them are the law enforcement agencies that we have. And if this can be broken down, that they will give us a space to just move in there, I believe every politician in Nigeria will run away. That's my take anyway. So, sorry, continue.
So
all right.
one person has to start it. One man, you live in the West, you know now. You know that these people, if they say they want to, they will do it. So what stops people in
I
Nigeria
just
to?
want them to strike. Let's see what that space looks like. It's just, it's just the criminality that would sweep through. That is just my concern because obviously it's the man on the street. Let's see how many armies they will be able to marshal in to come and protect them.
That's what it has come to.
Yeah.
Using army to protect them from police.
Yes,
You
from
you
protect.
you, you see the madness.
It's a jungle,
You
isn't it?
see, but
But
the army even they are suffering too. Oh.
and let them too go on strike. Let everybody go on strike, and let's naked the
No, no,
country and
no.
see
If the
how
army goes on strike, that's the end of
that
Nigeria.
you
You know,
know. Imagine the savagery.
that's the end.
Imagine the savagery if the
Yes.
army goes on strike. Oh God.
Yeah.
So there it is. But what just really what the irony of it all is that this was one of the highlights. Well, this was one of the marquee points that NSAS was protesting for, and you went to shoot them. But now it's beating you to the point that now you want to demonstrate for what people were
But one
demonstrating on
man,
your behalf, and you
but
went to kill
one
them.
man, when they shot them, it was the army that started first now. The police, they just used to follow. Every time this police see these army people, they always have some kind of god complex to them because they know that there's a difference in rank. So, monkey see, monkey do.
Monkey
That's
see,
what
monkey
follows
do.
that day.
All
It
right.
was the
So,
police that was giving direction because they know the area.
all right. Only God, not desperation, can confer power. Gowon tells Osinbajo group. So, what are you then making? Or because Gowon, he doesn't use casual words. So, what do you think his intentions are with those words?
What words?
Oh, there's a Osinbajo's campaign group. They are touring round and they've landed at Gowon's house. Do you know who Gowon is?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because you young people, you don't know anything. So they've landed at Gowon's house to canvass his opinion, to canvass his support, and his response to them was that it's only God, not desperation, that can confer power. So they just those words they struck me as curious, because usually when you turn up, they'll say, "Oh, I wish you well. I want the best for the country," but he's telling them that only God, not desperation, can confer power. So, is there anything to be read into those wordings from your point of view, Solly?
It depends on the people that are acting desperate. He's definitely pointing at people that we all know is acting desperate, and it's basically showing that he's trying to put it on God, but he has made his own decision in his mind, basically. So let's interpret it this way: it is only I, not that desperate man, that will decide on, So that's what it means. So who is the desperate man? That's the
Oh,
question.
well, that's the question. But let me take you on to the next one. Nigeria ranks 114 amongst world's happiest countries, which is towards the bottom of the list, which then means Nigeria one of the unhappiest places on the planet. So, what are you making then of this data that was released?
One man, I think is a good thing. Yes, because it was one of the happiest places before, right? That's
Yes, it
because
was
then
actually. Yes.
they were that's because then they were stupid.
You
Now
mean the
their
more
eyes
they
have opened.
realize their situation, the unhappier.
Yes. So it's a good thing. Let's start from there. The point of realization is a good thing. That's a good change, because actions come after the point of realization. So we'll see what happens. It's a
Thank
good
God
thing.
Vin is not here. We are well below Ghana, so he would have made very good play out of that. So it's just a guy is unbelievable, but then not surprising. Nigeria, it is really almost at least in West Africa, it's the unhappiest.
It should
Just
have been for a long time, but
mm,
they were happy, and we were not. We're all outside in the West wondering
suffering
why.
and smiling, according to Fela Kuti.
And Fela sang about it.
Suffering and smiling.
He probably stayed in the West for a while and came back and
Mm,
from point of realization, and say,
mm.
you know,
Yeah, and Jawan Louis.
ah,
Look at that.
and
Uh,
more.
You
Our
see,
people will
you
more,
you know
more.
you know because they say when they are telling poor people that they are poor, they don't know that they are poor because they don't know any different. It is only when you give you something to contrast it against, then you know what your circumstances is in life. If you don't know any different, you don't know that you're even suffering now.
Yes, but
When
ignorance,
somebody comes up
ignorance
and
is
slaps you
bliss.
every day, you don't know it now that is wrong until you go to
One
a
man,
place where nobody touches you at all. They greet you and treat you with kindness, and you think, so is there a different life from the life that I'm living? you know.
it's true. It's true.
Mm,
It's true. When you come back, you sense you forget about the difference because you've been
mm,
away for so long, but
mm,
you start to understand and remember how things were before, and you start to come to a realization that some things are wrong. you
mm,
know Ignorance is bliss. It
mm,
makes you
mm,
very comfortable and
mm,
happy, but ignorance is to your own detriment.
mm,
Before, in the past, Nigerians are not travelers. We are not nomads. We stay where we are. Probably today we will die. So it was only
mm.
the curious or the elites that used to leave Nigeria. So there was no social media back then. So suffering and smiling was allowed. But social media, it has opened everybody's eyes. you know.
Yes.
So it's a different narrative, a different place. Social media has not fully affected Nigeria, but it's coming.
You,
It's
you you know
coming.
you know what they say? They say the bigger the circle of the known, the greater the contact with the unknown. So the bigger
Yeah.
the more you know, the more you realize you do not know. It's the thing.
Yes.
So ignorance sometimes just live in ignorance.
And we
Ignorance
are
is a
very
happy
curious people.
people.
Ignorance is a
People
happy
on the
place, but it's to
you
your
know
own detriment.
no, it's underrated now because sometimes you just don't want to know because what if you know and then you realize you cannot do anything about it, then you move from your happy place and then suddenly this is where we end up here when we're telling you
Yes, now
when we,
this is
when we
why
know that they are
Nigeria is
chancing us and
ranking
we
so
cannot do
low.
anything. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
So
So but
so
Nigeria
that
are
makes you look
famously
country.
happy people, but
Yeah.
now they're starting to realize that things should not be the way it is. So this might well be
Yes.
good news in some form.
Yes. It's good news. It's very good news.
All right, thank you, Solly. So Solly traveling around Holland at the moment. So let's go on from Solly and go to Mangui. So Mangui, we started off with the lawsuit that was instituted by Abubakar Malami to delete clause 8412 from the Nigerian constitution, which then opens the window for him to contest. These are
Mm-hmm.
outside of the knowledge of the House of Representatives and the Senate, etc. So, what are you then making of this move being made by Malami?
Oh, well, I heard you reading it out, and I was just I chuckled a little bit, which depicts the scenarios that we have in Nigeria. How can you file a case without the defendant or the plaintiff not even knowing that there is a case before the law court? And this is all about the corruption. But in the essence of getting Nigeria to a better place, I do think that Malami is just trying to cover his ass and not to be caught unawares. But in my own belief, I think that's just what I believe. I think in the long run, the Senate might just waiver it and just let it be that all politicians can also contest and be voted for. I think it's just a political move and nobody can stop them as of now, except we have a stronger opposition like was this short man in Kaduna, El Rufai and the rest and his gang moves against it and said no, it's supposed to be the way it is. If you're a political appointee, you have to resign before you get into that place. But woman, I just wanted to ask. I'm not a lawyer, so can this move from Malami actually be accepted if the Senate don't even know that there was a lawsuit against this bill that they just passed?
I think there's a legal vehicle that you can use to get. Yeah, I think ex parte is something. Don't quote me, but I think it's called an ex parte motion or an ex parte judgment, where you can just get a judgment without the parties being involved. I'm not sure, but I don't know the circumstances under which you are able to get that though, because if the parties involved can be readily accessed to counterbalance whatever it is that you are proposing, then the duty binds the court to hear from them. So the House was not served, the Senate was not served, INEC was not served, nobody was served, and this guy just went to Umar here and bought himself a judgment.
Yeah, but somebody can appeal it also. It's not the
No,
final
it will
say
be
except the.
appealed. It will be appealed, but it's a time something. It's a time race. So because they have to be out of office for 3 months in the build up to any nominations. So the nominations they're having their convention on the 26th, which is I think next week Saturday, and then shortly after that they'll have their primaries. So if he's to abide by the rules of this new act, then he has to be out of office as the Minister of Justice before 3 months before they hold the primaries of the party. So that has to obtain. But he needs the cover of his office to insulate against the atrocities that he has committed, and the power of that office also to bully his way into that ticket. So this is self-interest. This is entirely
Yes, but
self-interest.
woman, what happens? Let's just a hypothesis. Let me just put it like this. The party stuff goes on 26th. He wins the primaries. He goes out to navigate his way through the government house of KB or something like that. And in this process, the Senate or somebody appeals this case after the primaries. Will he then resign?
Yeah, he will be removed automatically. INEC will have to withdraw his certificate of return, and then install whoever. You know, it's just been silly. This when Gowon was talking about desperation, this is a Desprado move.
Wow.
It's
I
that's Nigeria, though, isn't it? This is who we are.
Yeah, I kind of wonder. He has a godfather in the person of Buhari, and Buhari, in whichever case it might be, can give him cover in certain ways, even though they don't have immunity anymore when he resigns as the attorney or chief justice of the nation. I think Buhari can give him cover, just play with the whole cases that will flood
You
him.
see, the only thing that can give him cover is under their dispensation, if they are able to propel this matter to Supreme Court level and get a Supreme Court judgment whilst they still hold the Supreme Court, then that will almost somewhat insulate him because, once the Supreme Court pronounces, then that's the end of the matter. But if there's still a window to overturn, this silliness, this self-interest act by Malami, then he's not safe unless he's able to cover everything. To just
Yeah, but what man, you know how the cases go in Nigeria now. They postpone and postpone and postpone till one day they just throw it out of the ruling judge and all those things. And for me, I don't think it's a good idea for Malami to play all these cards. It might be politically good, but strategically it might knock him off the game. If a stronger party.
It's an act of desperation because he fully anticipated that on the direction of the president, they would delete that clause. But it got to the House. The Senate President Lawan was pushing hard, but Amila was pushing hard. But the House, I don't know if they had a moment of conscience. They just said, no, we're not going to delete this thing. And then they ended it right there. So he had that, yeah.
Yeah, I think the Senate and the House they are trying to rescue themselves also. I think there is in my own belief anyway, there is disagreement between the Senate, the House of Rep, the governors, and they are trying to stand on their own in order to make their ways or their future, to create their own future. Because in Nigeria today, we know that the governors are the powers to be. Actually, they select who is going to be Senate and who is not going to be a Senate or House of Rep. And if the Senate and the House of Rep, I think, in my own belief, that they just want to create this caveat for themselves to be above the governors a little bit, to be elected in office again. That's just my belief. But anyway, Nigeria, we know they know anything.
Yes, it's all abracadabra, isn't it?
I'm telling you,
magic tricks. So the
Python dance
is Python dance all the time. So the Python dances to the police force who want to go on strike. I think this will be the first time in the history of that country if this follows through. But then the reasons why they are giving for wanting to strike, they cannot but strike because this is something that has been subsisting for so long, and everybody has spoken about it, and promises have been made and not fulfilled. Poor working conditions, the dilapidated barracks, obsolete equipment, poor pay, poor packages, poor everything. So you ask these people to put their lives on the risk on risk in the public space, and then you just throw Toro and Kobo at them. So enough is enough, says the police, but the IGP says they cannot strike. So what are you then making then of the standoff between the police and their hierarchy?
Well, I think when Solly was speaking, I made a mention of that it's just a rot in the police system that is actually causing all these things. And, for me, if the police goes on strike, in short, make I just talk to you, it's impossible.
Yes, imagine. That's not even something you can even imagine.
It's impossible. The end of quote is it is impossible for the police in Nigeria to go on strike, and anybody that dares it will be dealt with mercilessly by the Nigerian government. So it would be nice though, but I don't see it coming.
I mean, I support the reasons why they are aggrieved, but the police going on strike. I mean, God, imagine. That means no
No,
policemen on the street, so that means no the police stations will be shut down. No.
yeah,
What do you
just
think the armed robbers, what do you think the armed robbers will make of that? The hired killers, the
no,
chancers, the opportunists.
no, no, just
One
imagine,
man, they'll be in delight.
That is
They will be
Christmas.
happy.
That will be their
no,
Christmas, wouldn't they? Eh?
you know what I just imagined? I just imagined looking at the southeast, those Monday stuff that they
Whoa!
do.
Imagine the unknown gunmen, and there's no
The,
police on the streets. God,
yeah,
everybody
just
dies. Everybody.
exactly. Just imagine that happening nationwide. All police pulled out, all politicians are on their own and everything. This one now, World War III, now in with the go.
Oh no, now Yawa all the way through.
And one man, imagine Nabikanu still chanting at that moment. Okay,
God, well, that will be instant Biafra. Biafra in one day. They will get Biafra in one day. They will get Biafra in one day. Another Python dance.
Yeah, it will be nice though to see, to just get it for one day to see how it's going to happen. But I don't see it happening. It's just unimaginable in my own point of view, and they will shut it down with all the might they have. And moreover, we still have the army there, just like Solly just narrated. We still have the army there. They will just come and shoot up everybody. Everybody will go out.
Yes. And the inspector general asking for the police to pray for their salary. What is even the meaning of that? Pray for your salary.
No.
Have you ever had to pray for your salary, Bangui?
One man, this one our daily job now in Nigeria. Pray, put sorry they laugh. But now what do they do now? Holy Ghost fire.
Although the president was telling us to pray for you against insecurity. So it's pray.
We pray for everything, even though we see the solution, but we'll go and meet Imam, Reverend Father. They will pray.
Holy Ghost fire. Calm down. Holy Ghost fire. Calm down.
The same Holy Ghost fire that will fire my enemy.
In Jesus' name. God Almighty, as I'm going today, let them pay my salary. This is it.
Exactly.
Now.
It's
God.
Maybe some of my friends that are listening to me will know who I am if I say this thing, but I will say it anyway. We always say, in the Bible, they said, my people perish for lack of knowledge. But we translated it, if we are discussing, my people perish for lack of information. Because they don't know their right. Even me, as I'm speaking, I'm a political ignoramus, let me say it like this, because we don't even understand it. And we don't even understand what's going on. So praying is a culture that is imbibed in Nigerians. They think that God will just come down and do abracadabra, everything will be all right. But forgetting that...
Do you not see the praying as a sign of surrender? Do you not think that the praying is essentially to say that we have given up on our capacity to influence our own affairs? That's surrender now, because then you are looking for higher powers.
Mangui, can I interject, please?
Yeah.
There's a passage in the Bible that says faith without works is dead. So if somebody says they are just praying, then they are not following the Bible. They are just lazy.
No, sorry, that one, faith. The second part, you should forget about it. We are just talking about the faith. The issue, let me say it in our colloquial language. The issue we say, now mindset, our people mindset, believe say, only God will save us. Forgetting, say that Bible, where did they read, or that Quran, where did they read? Not just, if you cannot read it as a history book, then read it as a spiritual book that gives you guidance. I'm praying to God will not bring manna come up from heaven. That one a story for 1900. Today, for the 21st century, we will do, or the anyone who will be inside. Now the work way they do, now ain't go give you food, now ain't go come up food, put on top.
But
Your
that's
table.
not guaranteed in the Nigerian police force. You can work, but to get paid is in the lap of the gods. This is what the Inspector General. You can work, but to get paid, that one is a different matter.
Of the human gods that we have, because there is no consequences in all these things. Moment, just imagine. Let me just give an example. Just imagine one these useless hackers who they get sometimes just goes into the IG's account and withdraws all the whole money he has and and demand a ransom that he must be paying the police force, otherwise all his assets will be exposed. Just imagine what will happen. All of them go conform immediately. No, there is no checks and balance. Just like you always say, no strong institution, nothing. Nigeria, man, I love Nigeria, but
why? Why do you love Nigeria? Because that's just because it's where you come from, Abi. Or what is? Yeah. Why do you love Nigeria?
Look, Nigeria is part of where I come from. That's one. Whether we like it or not,
I love Nigeria too, by the way. But I'm curious because people say I love Nigeria, but why?
No, look, people tend, because Nigeria is jaga now, people tend not to realize that Nigeria gave us that which made us today. The culture, the different tribes, the different scenarios, walking in Lagos, and that rugged.
The dynamism, the confidence.
Exactly. You also see it in Nigerians living abroad. You cannot cheat Nigerians just like that and just go scot-free. This is what makes Nigeria, or me, proud being a Nigerian. I am, I love Nigeria to the core because I believe that if we get it right, we will be one of the first nations of this world. I am proudly Nigerian. And let me give you another reason. I've been in the north, in the southeast, southwest of Nigeria. Actually, okay, I think I just excuse myself a little bit. I've been to Kaduna, Jos, or Plateau State. I've lived in Lagos. I have a connection to Baba Akure because something happened there. I lived in the southeast, in Enugu, in Anambra. I've lived a little bit in the south, in Bayelsa, because one of the PAMSEC is a family friend. So living there gave me, you see the culture, the vibe in Nigeria. You cannot but love these vibes in Nigeria. And now, even if I'm...
Hello? Have we lost you? Oh, I think we've lost Mangwe. You see, he's so choked up by the love he has for Nigeria, he can't speak anymore. Look at that. Look at that. Did you see that? Is too much love?
I believe he loves Nigeria based on his potential. So he's blinded by so many other
But
things.
do you not share those sentiments though? Because I'm not far from Mangwe in my because the Nigeria that I have in my head, not the Nigeria that we're experiencing, is one that I'm keen to hold on to.
I love Nigeria, but I realized I only love the Yoruba parts of Nigeria.
Look at that.
No, wait,
that was the only
can you hear me right
That
now?
was the
Oh yes, you're back. Yeah.
Sorry, you said I love Nigeria because of the potentials. Look, let me relate it like this for you. When you see, sorry for the women, I use women to narrate this story, but when you see a woman you fell in love with this woman because of a certain potentials that you see, not because you know that woman from birth, but because of the potential.
Yes.
That you see that you can build a home with this woman, a family with the woman. That is how you should see Nigeria.
Yes,
Look,
but
the problem that we are, please, yes?
Can I ask you a question based on that?
Yeah, you can.
So basically, you can say that you saw the potential, but you didn't know this woman. The moment you started to know this woman, you started to see the rotten attitude, inside her, the lack of change, the corruption in the woman, and the lady starts to spoil in your eyes. Now, if you continue to love this woman, is that not abuse on yourself?
The thing that you forget is this.
If you love this woman, would you not want to
Okay,
help this
let me
woman?
ask you a question, Solly. I want you to tell me
Yes.
two things, and don't duck the question. Tell me two
Ah,
things that you admire about the Igbo culture, two things you admire about the Hausa culture, and two things
yes.
that you admire about the Fulani questions. So, give me two positives from the
Okay.
other major tribes outside of yours.
Let me start with the Eastern. You know,
Mm.
my best friend, the only person I ever trusted in the world, the only person that helped me change my life was from the East. He was always calling me Yoruba boy, Yoruba boy, Yoruba. I didn't even know I was Yoruba. I thought I was Nigerian. That was the first time I started understanding that in the East, they don't say that they are Igbo. They say I'm Delta, they say I'm Bayelsa. I never knew all this before. Living with him made me realize all these things, and I started noticing the difference between Nigerians. To me, in my eyes before, all Nigerians were one. I didn't even know if you're Igbo or from the north. To me, I felt we were all just one. I never saw any distinction. Now, so I can say I learned how to do business from people in the East, because me, I was just a jolly Yoruba boy. I feel party, I feel this one. You just want to chill, relax, enjoy life, shout up and down. But from him, I learned business and other things. Just curiosity, how to run some things, which helped me later on in life. Now in the North, when I lived with a Northerner, I realized a lot of things. We can understand the Nigerian frame easily. It's very easy to communicate Nigerian issues with them, even though they are not going to have a change mindset, but they are going to give you that open door to conversate. You can always challenge it in front of them. You can always put things at a logical perspective, but they were not prone to any change. And they will not even hide it. They will let you know, and they will give you their reasons. And if you don't go with their reasons, then that's when I said, you don't fight this kind of people. It's better to just you go your way. It's better do your thing, because we are different. That's why I started seeing the difference between the North and the West. We can agree on some things, but there are some things we never agree on. You will not want to change. I will not want to change.
All
You know.
right. All right. That wasn't
But
that
one thing,
was
one
that
thing,
was a
one thing I
qualified
know,
that was a
one
qualified
thing I know
positive.
about the North, one thing
Exactly.
I know about the
Yes.
North is that they are very good with science and technology. I've not seen
The
any
North.
tribe from yes, I've not seen any tribe in Nigeria that is as good as science. They always go beyond. With every other thing, I've always seen them as average, or let me not sound here, but they are not always that good
So
with it. But
that
when
is
it
to
comes to
suggest
science and
that they are more
technology,
logical. That is to suggest that they are more
I
logical
just
than.
don't understand. That's the thing, one man. I never understood. Science and technology, they always beat everybody. The things they used to create, abroad, the things they created, they were like on the level, even, man,
You
but
know,
they just used to go back to
I
their,
can see that. I can see why you would say that because they are a very regimented sort of structured society. So anything that goes with structure and regimency, I think they'll go. And science is all about structure and sequencing, isn't it? So
yes,
they are structured. And we're more like free spirit sort of. So that creativity is something that we will go to because that's just our
yes.
inclination.
So,
But
so
they're
woman,
inclined, yeah.
No, no. And
if
the
I
thing
may,
I liked about the West the most is that they are we are free to live with any
Don't
type of
worry,
people.
we already know your self love. You know you will. So let's hear from Mangui. Yes,
Yeah,
Mangui, you wanted to come in.
Dolly, you just named let me say two or three things that you love about these different categories of people. Don't you think that in every of them there is a potential for Nigeria to become a nation, even in spite of our differences? Look,
Yes.
the sentiment, I think one man says these things that we are very, very emotional. And one of the things that I learned about humans is that, or here in Europe, I would say, a white man would throw somebody, his own person, under the bus without a blink of an eye, just for economic purposes. They are focused on economic purposes. If we become the most powerful economy in the world, that means everybody is happy. We don't have these tribal sentiments and all those things, or it's not all that pronounced in the society. Then we have a nation. But Nigerian case, the problem is our tribal sentiments. That's my take. Like I
I
said, I've
disagree,
lived
Mangui. Mangui, I disagree there.
why not?
If
Why?
Nigeria was working and everybody
Mhm.
could do business and everybody was making money from their business without governmental struggles or somebody being corrupt, I don't think Nigerians will have the time to be thinking of tribe. Is an idle mind that becomes the devil's workshop. Person wey no get job will start thinking of rubbish like this. If he was busy and he was making it in life without any issues and support from the government, they will not care. Trust me. They
But
will
you're just
not. They will
saying
be busy
the
working.
same thing that I just said. That it's the economic purpose that serves as a determinant for us to live together.
But Nigeria is not like that.
All right. Let me move, just for reason of progressing the conversation, let me move Mangui on to another talking point. This one now ranks Nigeria as the 114th happiest country in the world. So that is putting a positive spin on a negative. Because if you look at the sample pool, which is 199 countries, and Nigeria is 114, that is nothing to write home about. And if you in the sub West African region, certainly the unhappiest place. This ranking, this same index showed us as a happy people just a few years ago, but now it's painting us in a somewhat different color. So Sadi was suggesting that Nigerians are coming to realize the circumstances of their lives. But what are you making then of this index that ranks us 114 in the Happy League?
Well, sometimes I don't believe these statistics. Sometimes, but I think in this atmosphere right now, I think it depicts the way Nigeria is, in terms of the economic failures, the governmental failures, the societal failures that we have, and the cultural and moral failures that we have in Nigeria right now. So, in terms of that, I would say actually, in my own version, it depicts Nigeria as it is and the truth as it is right now. So I stand with Sully in his own assertion that the space in which Nigeria finds itself, or the people of Nigeria finds themselves, is quite unhappy situation right now, and it's nothing to write home about. So in this capacity, I might say, I might suggest that Nigerians have realized that there is more to life than what the government or what Nigeria is offering to us. I think it was 2 days ago that or a day ago, that you made mention of Elumelu's statement, which said that 95% of Nigerian crude oil is being stolen and not even returned to Nigeria. So that depicts the suffering of the people there, and I just, oh man.
It's quite a hard going, isn't it? When you think about you know what the frustration is, Mangui. You can see where that country can be and should be and you see where it is, and you see
Exactly.
just how quickly it could. What do we even need in the country? We need a good electricity, good roads, decent security, you know. Just those
Yeah,
three things will go a long way to insulate. We're not asking for a corruption-free country, because there's no such thing anywhere in the world. But
exactly.
it's just, and the Elumelu space, it just highlights everything. When you are stealing 95%, 95%, so that's not corruption now. That's just inhumanity, you know?
No,
So this is, yeah.
I said something in your platform the last time I came. I said this is not, Nigeria is not corrupt. Our leaders are not corrupt. They are just armed robbers. When you talk, they will use gun to just chastise that person and all those things. But solely, you see why I said I love Nigeria because of its potentials and all those things, because it has that thing. It's, when people say me omo Naija, I am a Nigerian person. We vibe.
And look at that. Where is your license to speak Yoruba? Who gave you?
Ah,
Solly, did you hear this man? Oh yeah,
one
so
man,
Solly, bring
Angry.
the rule book out. What's the fine
one
for
man,
this?
farabalẹ̀.
Naija, look at that guy.
One man,
Where's your license?
farabalẹ̀.
But Mangu, can I ask you a
Farabale,
question?
Only ko farabale, Solly.
Me
Farabale,
farabalẹ̀.
settle down. Yeah, look at that. Well
I'm a
done.
gentleman.
You know,
But
I
Mangu,
wish.
can I ask you a question?
Good.
Yeah, you can.
You say because of the potential, but let's say we are looking at it like a company in Nigeria. This potential is based on the people, right? Now, if you had your money down based on how the people are behaving right now, because me, I was very surprised when they did the End Stars protest. I thought something like that would happen maybe 5 or 10 years later in Nigeria, but it happened before then, which surprised me. Now, if you were to put your money on it, this potential that you say you see happening, based on the current mindset of the people, would you put a lot of money down on it?
It's quite a tricky question, but let me put it. Let me try to arrange my brain a little bit. Then, okay. Let me try it like this. I think I'll put my money on it. One, seeing Nigeria as it is, so many things is going on in Nigeria right now. Look, number one, the parties that we have, APC, PDP, they are confused. Actually, if in the real sense of all those things that we are seeing, they are really, really confused. I would think of 3 years ago, 2019, the presidential candidates were already on board. Everything is settled. Everybody knows this is the person and this is where we are going. Right now, nobody knows where Nigeria is going. Nobody knows anything about Nigeria. The youths, I would say, could come on board and do certain things, try to project themselves into this situation and try to carry the nation forward. Secondly, the petrol pandemonium that we are having right now is an aspect of it that can fuel change in Nigeria. Thirdly, the food crisis that will amount in this whole thing, it's an added advantage for that country to change in its in a better way.
So you are betting on the sufferings. You are betting on the sufferings of the people.
No. You cannot change. Look. There is never a change that occurs when you are comfortable in life.
Yes, the suffering is it might have. I agree with everything you are saying, Mangui. Yeah, carry on.
Never. You can look, even the Igbo land where we did. The moment you see improvement in their life, all those solar, all those things, because there is a suffering somewhere that they need to, eliminate. That's why you see a progress.
Mr. Mangwin, this is something I
Just call me
know.
Mangwin, no Mr.
Just call it. What's all this mister that people do here? Where I find that so disingenuous because it's almost like a political move when they start to show you respect and then
Exactly. Then they strike.
they want to corner you. Don't corner him. It's man to man, man to man. Go on.
Okay, but see, this is now a Nigerian perspective that I know, that this is one thing all of us share in Nigeria, both the east, both the north, both the west. We are very adapt to suffering. We can take a lot of suffering. We persevere a lot of suffering. Out of everyone I've seen, because I've traveled to a lot of places, now Nigeria people feel suffer pass. So if you say this suffering, Nigerians are resilient, though. They are resilient, though. You have to consider that too.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to seek to start to round off here because it's just a short session and I have to run an errand. But I'll give the last word to Mangui just to respond, but just a short response to what Solly said, and then I'll round off.
Well, to respond a little bit to what Solly said. Solly, there is no change that comes easy, and there is no change that comes without suffering. You have to be pushed to the wall. And I think, like Ego always accused the diasporans, I think we have a hand in all the sufferings of Nigeria, and I think we should play our role. And what Sally B said, I just prayed that day that she shouldn't let the cat out of the bag, or how is it said, that the diasporans have a role to play. And when we come together to push the nation forward, we will get there. Don't give up on something that you dream of. Nigeria is the best place to be if we get it right. No Yoruba nation, no Biafran nation, no Hausa nation can give you an added advantage more than Nigeria if it's right. So that's my own take.
Brilliant. Well said. So thank you, Mangui. So thank you, gentlemen. And sorry that I wasn't able to bring more people on. So more people did try to come on, but I just wanted to make it a short, intimate session because I'm pushed for time. So if I had more people on, so this apologies to Professor Datao, Sam, Engineer, etc., who wanted to come on, but I just decided to leave it short and intimate so that I could just make it sharp and to the point. So thank you, gentlemen. Hopefully I see you later on in the day. As you know, we reconvene then. So I'll leave it there. Carry conversation and we do in the comment section over here. I say peace.